You've seen the videos, right? A parrot bobbing its head, stomping its feet, totally in sync with a pop song. It's hilarious, it's cute, but it also kicked off this huge scientific mystery. What is actually happening inside their little bird brains? Well, let's get into it. I mean, we've all been there. You're scrolling through your feed, and bam, there's a bird absolutely rocking out. And you might think it's just a funny, simple trick, but it turns out this behavior is way more complex and honestly way more rare than you could ever imagine. And this is the bird that started it all. Everybody meet Snowball. He's a sulfur-crested cockatoo who became a huge internet star way back in 2007. But his moves weren't just a party trick. They got the attention of neuroscientists and basically launched more than a decade of research. And that is the big question, isn't it? Are these birds just, mindlessly copying movements they see someone make, or are they genuinely feeling the rhythm? Is this just a fluke? Or is there a real biological reason why a parrot can bust a move?
A pretty sharp subject.
So to really get to the bottom of this, here's how we're going to break it down. We'll start with the viral video that kicked everything off. Then we'll dig into the science of what it means to keep a beat. After that, we'll explore this fascinating link between dancing and talking. Then we'll uncover a whole new vocabulary of dance moves. And finally, we'll talk about why a dancing bird actually matters. All right, first up, let's rewind the clock. Let's go back to the moment when one cockatoo's love for 90s pop music completely changed how we think about the animal kingdom. I mean, Snowball's journey is just incredible. In 2007, he's a viral YouTube hit. By 2009, he's the subject of serious scientific papers confirming he can actually keep a beat. And the research didn't stop there. Even in a recent study, scientists are still learning from parrots, discovering a level of complexity in their dancing that nobody ever saw coming. Okay, so this was the first huge hurdle for scientists. They had to prove that what Snowball and other parrots were doing wasn't just a really clever copycat act. They had to prove it was the real deal. And to do that, we need to wrap our heads around this one key scientific idea: entrainment. Now, it's a fancy word, but it's something you do all the time. It's not just moving, it's syncing your body's movements to a rhythm you hear. It's exactly what's happening when you tap your foot or nod your head along to a song you love. And here's the crucial difference. Mimicry is just imitation. You see someone wave, you wave back. Simple. But entrainment, that's synchronization. It's a much deeper internal process of hearing a beat, processing it in your brain, and then moving your body right in time with it, even if that beat suddenly changes. So, how in the world do you test for that? Well, scientists came up with this really simple but brilliant experiment. First, they played Snowball's favorite song. Then, here's the clever part, they messed with the tempo, speeding it up and slowing it down. And, crucially, they made sure there were no humans in the room tapping their feet or giving him any clues. And this was the aha moment. Snowball didn't just keep dancing at the same old speed. He actually sped up when the music got faster, and he slowed down when the music got slower. He was genuinely listening and resynchronizing on the fly. This was undeniable proof of entrainment. So this discovery was huge, but it immediately opened up an even bigger, more profound question. What is it about a parrot's brain that lets it do something that most other animals, even really, really smart ones, just can't? And this brings us to the leading theory, something called the vocal learning hypothesis. The idea is actually really elegant. It suggests that the super complex brain pathways an animal needs to hear a sound and then perfectly mimic it, well, those are the very same pathways that let them hear a beat and move their body to it. So, who's in this exclusive club? Well, when you look across the entire animal kingdom, the ability to keep a beat is incredibly rare. It only seems to show up in animals who are also vocal learners. We're talking parrots, songbirds, dolphins, and, yep, us humans. Which brings us to a question I'm sure many of you have wondered, probably while trying to get your own pets to dance. The vocal learning hypothesis gives us a pretty clear answer. Look, your dog might be a genius at playing fetch, but its brain just isn't wired to perfectly imitate a whole bunch of different sounds. It's missing that special high-speed connection between the hearing part of the brain and the moving part. So, put simply, the same wiring that lets a parrot say, "Polly wants a cracker," is what lets it dance. So for years, the science was all about rhythm. But just when we thought we kind of had it figured out, new research came along and showed us there was this whole other layer of complexity we had totally missed. Just let this number sink in for a second. A groundbreaking study analyzed videos of dancing cockatoos and identified 30 distinct creative dance moves. We're not talking about one or two repetitive motions here. We're talking about a full-on dance repertoire. And these aren't just random movements. We're talking headbanging, little side steps, body rolls, half turns, even a unique move the researchers dubbed fluff. These birds have their own personal style, and they mix and match these moves into totally unique dance routines. And this is the part that is truly mind-blowing. More than half of the dance moves they found had never been scientifically described before. This points to a level of spontaneity and individual creativity that we are only just beginning to appreciate. One parrot even had 17 moves all to itself. Okay, so parrots are spontaneous, creative, beat-matching dancers. That's an incredible fact. But what does it all mean? Why do they even do it? Well, researchers think there are a few key reasons. It could be a social behavior, a new way of bonding with their human flock. It also perfectly fits the scientific definition of play, something they do just for the sake of it, because it's fun. And maybe most importantly, it could be a direct expression of positive emotion, a sign that they're happy and feeling good. So why does all this matter to us? Because the bird boogie is so much more than just a cute video. It's real evidence of complex minds and emotional lives in other animals. It suggests that music could be a really powerful tool for making the lives of captive animals better. And unbelievably, it gives us a model to help understand how and why our own ancient ancestors first started to dance. The story of Snowball is just amazing. It shows how a simple viral video can unlock these profound scientific truths, revealing a hidden world of creativity and intelligence right under our noses. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other incredible animal abilities are out there, hiding in plain sight, just waiting for us to notice?